You are tuned in to On Air with Chris Shanafelt.
Welcome back On Air with Chris Shanafelt. Tonight we're going out to McNeese State where we can find who I would call the top linebacker in the FCS, arguably the top defender in the FCS. Yesterday he was named first team AP All-American, the first McNeese State Cowboy with that honor since 2007. He capped off his senior season by racking up 102 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, and 11 sacks. His efforts from this season earned him Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Year. It's a pleasure to welcome onto the show 2019 NFL Draft prospect, linebacker BJ Blunt. And BJ, really appreciate you hopping on the show this evening. How's everything going?
Hey, man, everything going great, man. I'm more than appreciated to even be on here, you know.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on, again, not only capping off a very impressive, a very fun season to watch there at McNeese State, but a very impressive collegiate career. And before we talk about what your schedule consists of over the next few months leading up to the 2019 NFL Draft, BJ, I want our listeners to kind of familiarize themselves with you if they're not familiar. You're only at McNeese State for these past two seasons. Before that, you were actually at Garden City Community College to begin your collegiate career in the JUCO ranks. In 2016, you were a part of the national championship winning squad to complete an undefeated 11-0 season as Garden City defeated Arizona Western 25-22. And you actually had an interception in that national championship game to close it out. Just start off by, I guess I'll just ask, what was it like to experience that type of great success both as a team and individually early on in your collegiate career, and how did you ultimately wind up at McNeese State after that season?
Well, I signed to McNeese coming out of high school. I had a lot of offers, but my grades was always an issue, and it kind of altered my situation. So I double signed to Arizona Western. That's because I committed to Arizona State, so they got me to sign to their JUCO, which was Arizona Western, and I double signed to McNeese State also. But talking to people through the process, I wound up picking McNeese State. Went there my freshman year, things didn't work out, so I wound up going home and getting a job and worked sandblasting and painting for a year on a boat, and got an anonymous call from Garden City and went out there. And it was amazing, man. It was good to meet a bunch of guys who knew what the struggle was, who knew what it was like to be away from football and come back and get an opportunity like this. So it was amazing to win with those guys and to win All-American honorable mention. That was awesome too.
Absolutely. Your first year at McNeese, BJ, you played 11 games. Starting two of those, you had 43 tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. You're named an honorable mention all-conference, as you said. What did this past off-season consist of for you? How were you able to bring your game to another level and go from honorable mention to all-conference to all FCS, All-American, and Southland Defensive Player of the Year? Was there anything, did you change anything that you did last off-season, anything different that you didn't do in years before, or was it just the opportunity to be on the field more in which you were able to have this past season?
Most definitely, I think it was a lot to do with the opportunity to be on the field more, because my first year coming into McNeese, I started off as the safety, but I was also rotating with a senior safety that was behind me. And they moved me to linebacker because our will went down, and I moved to linebacker. Did the job, had a lot of did a lot of good things at the job, but I was rotating, and it got under my skin a little bit, but that's a part of football, and that's what come with it. And this year, just coming in knowing that I was gonna get a lot more of the playing time, and I just focused, man. I just focused on learning the playbook so they didn't have an excuse to pull me out. Just knowing where I need to be so I could help guys, knowing what other guys need to be just in case they misfit, I could just fit right off of them, So it was just it had a lot to do with the mentality, but at the same time, I think it had a lot to do with the minutes.
Was there a part of this transition going from defensive back to linebacker, safety to linebacker? Was that a smooth transition for you? Certainly looks like it. But you tell us, was that a smooth transition? Was there anything that was difficult to kind of figure out throughout that transition from that position change?
I mean, I'm not the type of guy to brag or anything, but I actually just like to be on the field, man. I just love to play the game and I love to be on the field. It don't matter what position that is, and when they came up to me and was like, we need you to play linebacker, it wasn't a question. I told coach that's cool. Like, yeah, I play linebacker, I do what you need me to do, and just so happened everything worked out in my favor.
Again, he's B.J. Blunt, the linebacker out of McNeese State, 2019 NFL Draft prospect. B.J., just for database purposes, your latest bio on McNeese State website has you listed at 6'1", 220. Is that accurate? If not, can you tell us what your current height and weight is?
I'm 6'1" exactly, and probably about 217, 218, so it's close to accurate.
And of course, a lot of people will say, I know you know it's probably coming your way. Not only do you have the small school label with you, but a lot of
Yeah.
people will say that you are undersized to play linebacker at the NFL level, at the professional level. Watching some of your tape, I certainly think your game translates to the NFL. Kind of like you said, really at whatever position a coach wants you to play. If that is linebacker, I think it does translate. Has there ever been any conversations with scouts throughout the years about possible position change at the next level?
I mean, yeah, man. I talked to a few scouts, and some of them want me to kind of talk about the nickel position, the rover position. Some of them like me at the strong safety. Most of them like me at the will linebacker, kind of being in the middle interior. I mean, so it's a lot of positions that they throw out there, and I think a lot of things that they throw out there also just to mess with your head. They say things like you mind putting your hand in the dirt, you mind playing special teams, but those things for a player like me, honestly, is a given. Like, I just want to be on the field, to be honest with you.
And that's the mindset you got to have. I'm sure that's the mindset scouts and coaches love to hear. Now, BJ, I'm sure the NFL has always been a dream, but when did it hit you that you had a legit chance at turning this dream into a reality? Just talking to you for a few minutes, it sounds like you've had to overcome quite a few obstacles just to get to this point. Again, obviously still a long way to go. Nothing's guaranteed, but it looks like chances are that an opportunity will be coming your way if things go as planned.
Most definitely. I mean, like you said, it's been a child long, dream, something that I always look forward to. But the minute that it hit me was, I was in junior college, and I talked to me and my head coach, Coach Jeff Sims, to sit down to have simple conversations, and he said things that stick with me. Like everybody not B.J. Blunt, everybody can't do what B.J. Blunt do, and things like that. That give you that boost, like like damn, I might actually be something special. Just hearing things like that and then having the accolades that go along with it, like the All American and the 8 interceptions out of JUCO, like that type of thing just gave me the confidence and the extra boost. And I was playing with guys like Mike Hughes, first round draft pick, Jeremy Falk went straight to the NFL out of junior college. Dale Phillips, he coming up, University of Illinois, linebacker, Lonnie Johnson, cornerback coming up, top pick in the draft. So it's a lot of good people I play with and good guys that I actually still keep in touch with it. And just being around those guys and playing with them and them telling me like, hey B, this ain't you can actually do this. Like I know you play for fun, but you can actually do this for a living. That's kind of when it kind of clicked, like let's make money.
And I gotta think that makes it even more sweeter. Playing this game all your life, doing it for fun. Having it help you out through school, and now here you are trying to make that your full-time job. I'm not even going to lie to you, BJ. I became familiar with you and your game last draft season when Will House, Arizona Cardinals, former Southern Nazarene offensive lineman, reached out to me. He said, hey, you got to check this guy out. And, so it was kind of fun to watch your senior season play out how it did. Again, Southland Defensive Player of the Year. And Will House was not kidding when he said that this is going to be a guy that you need to look out for come 2019. And, here we are now chatting. And again, just being able to watch your senior season unfold the way it did. Got to give Will House a lot of credit on that for helping me out because certainly a lot more people are now familiar with B.J. Blunt, McNeese State linebacker, who joins us now on air with Chris Shanafelt. B.J., a few more questions for you, and then we'll let you go. If you had to choose one game out of your entire collegiate career for a scout to go back and watch, What one or two games would you suggest? Can you name one off the top of your head?
Most definitely, man. Southeastern, Louisiana. 17 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and a block punt. I feel like that was one of my, spotlight games. And if I had to just go to like a real grimy game, I'd say BYU because I only had about 4 tackles and I had like a half a sack or something like that. But the whole game, just the way that they game planned me and the way I just had to like, fight through the blocks and get to. I just love it, man. Watching that film kind of gave me chills, because it show you what it is to go against that competition. So that'll be the two games I'll tell anyone to watch.
Speaking of competition, BJ, you recently accepted an invite to the East-West Shrine game, one of the top college football all-star games. I've had the pleasure of covering the game twice out of the past 3 years. Great time, not to mention it's in St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm in Chicago, BJ, so being in Florida in January is always a great time. I'll take that whenever I can. What was your reaction when you seen that you were invited, when you opened up that letter, that email, saying that you were invited to the East-West Shrine game? What was your reaction, and what do you look forward to showing NFL scouts that week down in St. Pete?
Oh man, it was amazing. It was a big time. It was a big time thing. When my coach walked I was actually getting some treatment. When he walked into the treatment room, he had a big smile on his face, and he was full of jokes and things like that. He showed me the paper, and it was just amazing, to actually get something like that. Like I said, man, I've been playing a long time for free and for fun, so it was amazing to get something like that. And what's up, boss?
Now, I don't mean to raise expectations for you, BJ, but I certainly think that you can be one of those guys that has a great week in St. Pete, and once your week is over there playing the All-Star game, I think there's a great chance that you get that invite from the Senior Bowl down in Mobile, Alabama. Any word from the Senior Bowl yet? I know Jim Nagy, the former Seattle Seahawks scout. He's now running the game, no longer Phil Savage. Any word from the Senior Bowl yet?
Yeah, man. Jim actually hit me up, Jim Nagy. I love what they're doing for guys over there, and I respect the program to the fullest. And just the whole situation, I honestly feel kind of disrespected about the situation, but it is what it is. But he told me straight up, he was like, man, it was a hard decision. We sat down, we watched the tape for about 60, 90 minutes. And I went over you with 17 teams on the board or something like that. And he was like, the 17 teams had the final say-so on the final roster. So he had to go with those guys that they picked. And what, like I told him, I respect your decision to the fullest, I felt a little disrespected, but that's a personal feeling. It's just about how you channel that. You know what I'm saying?
What do you feel separates you from any other defensive player in this year's draft class? Obviously, the versatility, willingness to play special teams. You kind of need that when coming from a smaller school, and obviously that's not going to be a problem for you. It seems like whenever you can get on the field, you'll take it. What separates B.J. Blunt from the others in the 2019 class?
I mean, besides the numbers, besides the 11 sacks and 20 tackles for loss and 20 tackles in one game.
Hey, for the listeners out there, you know what? As great as the numbers are, the film is even better. I'm not even going to lie to you, and I'm not trying to BS. I'm not just saying this because you're on right now, BJ, but the film, the highlights, if you have a few minutes, go and check them out. BJ Blunt, McNeese State. Sorry to cut you off.
Nah, you good, boss. You know what I'm saying? But besides the numbers, that's kind of why I felt disrespected about the Reese's Bowl situation, because that's what I thought it was about, numbers. But besides the numbers, I think the speed and just the hunger to play, the love of the game, because I play with a lot of good guys, man. I play with a lot of great guys, but one thing I noticed that always separate the great from the good was the love. Like, the passion to actually play, the passion to go out and do drills when everybody else sleep. You know what I'm saying? When everybody else want to go out on Saturday, that extra oomph that make you just keep going in the morning. Because everybody good on Saturday. It's about who good Monday through Friday. You know what I'm saying? That's where it all counts at. That's how you build up to be successful every Saturday, not just that Saturday, and then chill out the next one, and then just try to turn it back on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Football is just something you can't turn off and on.
Gotta love the mindset. And speaking of preparation, BJ, are you looking forward to testing? Are you looking forward to the NFL Combine, your pro day? Are you looking forward to running your 40-yard dash, leaping in the vertical, bench pressing 225 pounds? Is that something you're looking forward to?
Oh, most definitely, man. I'm most definitely looking forward to that, man. 'Cause like I told you, man, I'm going into East West Shrine game with the mindset to tear it up. I wanna support the kids as much as possible throughout the week and do everything they got set up for us and the kids. But I'm gonna be honest, man. On that game day, it's gonna be a whole different guy, and hopefully I get that combine invite. Talk to my agent, and he told me they just put me on the watch list for it. So hopefully I get that combine invite, and like I told you, man, not the bragging type, but the combine kind of thing. That's the type of thing I think I excel in, cause of the vertical and cause of the 40 and things like that. Pretty good around cone drills and things like that. So I think I may excel at that level.
Not to put any pressure on you, BJ. Can we get any predictions? What 40-yard dash are you running? What kind of vertical we got? What about the bench press? Any predictions?
Oh yeah, man. I gotta. Right now, the goal is to get up. The goal is to be 222 and run a 4.58. But that's just the goal. So we trying to foresee that, but just to secure, we gonna put a 4.58. But
All right.
hopefully we could get much lower than that. Vertical, anywhere between a 34 and a 36.
I like it. Obviously, that'll do you very well if you could put up those numbers. Final question for you, BJ. Really appreciate your time. Really enjoyed chatting with you this evening. It's a question I end all my interviews with. Let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers. They're tuned in listening to this very interview. Why should they want BJ Blunt out of McNeese State a part of their organization?
Oh man, 'cause I'm gonna do the job everybody else don't want to do. I'm gonna run down on kickoff, bust the wall, lead block the kick return if that's what you want. Go block the punt, and even take on the lineman in the middle, play safety. I'll learn more than one position. I'm just ready to be versatile for whatever team pick me up. And I'm gonna be honest. My rookie year, my main goal is to make 31 teams regret it.
And you could almost hear it in your voice when talking about that decision the Reese Senior Bowl made whenever it was you heard from them. And with that said, BJ, really looking forward to seeing what your future holds. Best of luck next month at the East-West Shrine game. It'll be your last time wearing that McNeese State Cowboys helmet. So really looking forward to that. And, of course, just best of luck throughout these next 4 or 5 months leading up to the 2019 NFL Draft. Hopefully we could chat again down the line before the draft, catch up a little bit. But if not, really just want to wish you the best. And thank you so much for taking some time this evening, man.
Hey, man, thank you for keeping tabs on me, man. Thank you for looking at me when nobody else was.
Hey, man, my pleasure. And, again, big shout-out to Will House for that. It was a blast, man. So thank you. Thanks for putting out a show, especially this senior season of yours. And best of luck, man.
I appreciate you.